In the connected world of today, it is easy to share too much and put ourselves out there with other people in person and through the always present world of social media, while being open and vulnerable can be very helpful for making important building bonds and encouraging empathy. The Stoicism, an old way of thinking of how important it is to keep certain things about our lives. I'll talk about in this video, be talking about some personal issues and things that should be kept secret, things that are private and don't help anyone. Reason for being shared. Private holds important in your life, both strategically and for working on inner. Let those who follow us be at peace, or philosophical ideas. You can be sure this video will show you how to become Stoicism in the world. Today, Stoicism with it has roots in Greece, and Rome gives timeless advice on how to find the thin line between being vulnerable and discretion. In this paper, we'll look at. Here are 7 things that Stoicism tells us not to let other people see, shedding light on how the concept will always be important in the world today. Before we start, please make sure that you have joined to the channel. Turn on the warning bell so you don't miss any material that will empower you. Always be the best version of. Make yourself number 1 in the fights. You number 1. Other people don't need to know about the fights you've had in the past, fought before, so there's no need for to hold on to on the journey of life. There are fights we have to go through, endure, and problems we solve that possibly stay hidden in the depths in the bottom of our hearts. These home fights, the fights you've had in the past, don't have to fully understand by others. You don't have to explain yourself to people who have messed up their own difficult ways, while trying to explain the full range of your problems may show up by accident, arrogant, as if looking for approval for your feels. The essence of one's character is deeply shaped by the problems and struggles they face. Though it has been weathered, it is not incumbent on you to make these difficult times common know-how or lean on your struggles as a reason or a story those difficult times have in which your life was put to the test. Invented information that helps your characters mature, wise and unwavering persistence, even though your past has changed you. You don't need other people to clearly picture the pain you've went through. What they really need to see is your growth and change in the end. It is admirable for someone to abstain from focusing too much on their past and instead live in the present moment fully. Right now it's through deeds, not words. That person really shows their strengths, and it's not about bragging about your adventures, not about one's past, but rather about making their skills known in deed that shows how strong they are inside, and their determination to do so. They go beyond a simple triumph story and become a living example of the strength of the human spirit that lasts. Think about a man named David, who has had to face many problems in his life. He is someone who has lost a loved one, jobless, and a lot of problems in raising his children by himself. Because of these trials, he went through big changes in his life and wrote about David's growth instead of sharing with others the trials he has been through. David picked to live in the present moment in a good way. He learned how to seize every chance you get and make a caring place for his kids to live. David didn't dwell on telling his own story challenges. Instead, he showed kindness, patience, and strength by he was helping people in his neighborhood. This means everyone in David's community noticed a change for the better in his life and the good things he did for them. Instead of talking at length about in the past, David showed through because of what he did. He had to fight and became a strong and useful member of society. Number 2, the facts of your number 2. You should not tell other people the specifics of your plans. You should leave goals alone, not shared. It's usually smarter not to share all the little details of your hopes and dreams, while most people maybe know the general direction you're going in. Think about what would happen if revealing exact facts that show. At every turn of your journey, it's like giving anyone full access to that way. You can use your personal phone, essentially give up power over if something doesn't go as planned, you might end up where you planned. Having doubts about whether it was your mistake or if someone lied to you. Trust where the attack came from should one OCC turns into a puzzle, because there are a lot of things that could hurt you. That it's no longer possible to tell who could be responsible, even if they mean well. Friend who wants to know about your plans, or someone with bad intentions. Keeping the important information is of the highest importance. Importance, in fact, pointing out the general way you're going. The title is usually enough, for you needn't feel like they have to tell the many specifics about your trip to anyone, since no one else can really trust you as much as you trust them. Can be your path is yours alone, and you don't owe anyone anything. A full description of your aims. It's more than enough for just you to have a deep understanding of your own journey. Let's say you're an artist, working on a one-of-a-kind and valuable piece of art that everyone knows you are making a model, but haven't given any information about it. You only say that the object will be a beautiful piece of art and that it will be unique. One day you choose to give more information about your work of art to a close friend because you believe them, because you tell them everything about its size, shape, and being important, but after a while you understand that detailed information about other people have seen your work. Learn everything you can about your art, and it's being copied by some people, tricked to take your work in this case. Giving away too many information about your work has caused you to lose control and putting the work at risk of being ripped off or copied. If you just let other people know that you are making a unique model without revealing specific data that you can keep safe, your work of art, and keep it surprising and unique. Third, put your happiness first. Number 3, you're happy because you think that happiness and a sense of lightness are hard to come by. Being sure that happiness and a sense of lightness are. These feelings have become very rare, desired, and when you really shine, happiness can have a big effect on people. Different people may respond in different ways, some with respect and some with some doubts about your real smile could be a cause of wonder, while other people may doubt your truthfulness, not able to believe that someone can really find inner peace in such an environment that you should be proud of. Show how happy you are when someone interested in your health. There's no need to hide how happy you are. Instead of just saying that if you're doing well, you can confidently that you really are doing well. It's a small change, but it gives the impression of sure of themselves and focus on the good things instead of dwelling on how your whole life is going. According to Swimmingly, it's fine to say that things are going well in a world that is often overwhelmed by sadness, and unhappy people who give off happiness can be seen as a risky endeavor at times. People who are angry and unhappy may attempt to disturb the peace of those who have found inner peace, but are still being happy, and sharing it with others is a brave act that can motivate others to look for their own sources of happiness, and happiness in a world full of sadness. Often, your real happiness wins out. Could be a sign of hope and a warning that you can find inner peace even in. These are tough times, so don't wait to be happy and let it shine. Of ideas for the people around you. Think about a Christian guy named John. Living in a tough and stressful, John has thought that his faith in God to be a source of comfort and safety he always looks happy in his life and happy with his daily life, and John's a smile always shows. Problematic times when you ask about John's case, he will never say that everything works out fine. Instead, he will say that everything is fine with it's not a lie to smile, but to show his appreciation for his faith and his power to get through anything tough times. but not everyone in. This fits right into John's life. Some people might not believe it and find it hard to think that someone can really be happy. Even though things are hard, they may see JN as too positive and question his. Still, what's important is truthfulness is that something John doesn't care about. This worry and keep spreading. His John is not just a happy and hopeful someone who believes in God and also shows his faith by being happy joy and hope. He doesn't try to make his life perfect, but instead wows others with his thanks and good mood spirit. But he also has to deal with the doubt and unhappiness of those. This may have to happen around him when you decide to live a good life in a world is still full of problems. John makes the choice to be honest and not let others' bad moods bother him. Spirit number 4. How important. Number 4. How important it is to keep your information safe. Taking care of safety when it comes to making sure your love life is healthy and strong friendship. There's an important rule that the importance is often not seen of keeping your relationship safe, private, and abstaining from unnecessary talks about disagreements and close information on the public website of the internet. It's a habit that can significantly contribute to how strong and long-lasting your bond is when disagreements or problems happen in a relationship. The urge to lash out or ask your friends for help, and good friends can be strong, but it's important to stop and think about what this move means for you. Sharing your private information about ties with some people, especially on the internet, accidentally make the foundation less strong. You want to make imagine you stronger and your partner are having a hard time in how you feel about them is a big deal, something you both need to deal with, and it's making people tense and uneasy in what's on your mind instead of sitting down and talking about this problem straight. You decide to share with each other everything with a close friend. You trust the need for help and advice from and getting an outside view to solve this. Something you tell your friend what's going on with your feelings and we hope to get a better point of view. But sadly, things go in a strange direction. When you share the story, your friend starts to tell their own thoughts and notes, start to think about why you're here. Relationship give you ideas on how you should deal with the problem and even say worries about your partner over time. Things start to talk about your friend's thoughts and views, and I think the main problem has been put aside, instead of focusing on how to talk about the specifics of the case and get along better with the chat turns into a talk about outside ideas and points of view. Good conversation and closeness are the most important parts of a good and doing well bond, no matter what. They are most highly useful when grown in the bond itself, instead of outside of it. A lot of people find themselves dealing with disagreements in their marriage, and in their search for peace, they turn to friends, family, or even people you meet online. By doing so, they unintentionally hurt the group. Turn their personal issues into taking into account this general gossip. It becomes clear that the health of your relationships depend on to keep a careful mix between to be intimate and private. You have to be able to fix problems and handle conflicts without giving away every little detail of how you relate to the outside world in general. The strength of in the sacred space, a bond is strengthened. You and your partner make things together. It's a spot where being open and honest. It's best to communicate when you can deal with disagreements openly and where avoiding does a lot for closeness. Revealing every part of your relationships with other people, you keep the sacredness of this place and make sure that it still gives them strength, and you and your partner will get help. So remember this when you're asking for help. Support is important, and it is important to keep your information safe and closeness that makes your relationship work really special. Number 5. Your money. Number 5. Your money situation. It's first important to don't forget that nobody in your social circle works for the IRS or a bank. worker, so there's no need to share private information about money. Secondly, giving out information about your finances. This is true whether you are being financially stable or in debt, to not welcome what will happen if you are in a position of having plenty of money. Putting this information out there may attract people who have hidden agendas, who think of you as a possible source of. If you need cash help, on the other hand, your money is tight and you're not hiding it. Let's face it, many people may see you with a lack of respect because social norms often equate having both material success and self-worth. That's just how the world works, and being careful is important. So, the best way to go about it is to keep things mysterious about your cash situation. Let people can guess as much as they want while you keep your cash situation a secret. Status, by doing that, you'll make sure that those close to you that you're not too worried about your money situation. Showing signs of desperation or financial tough times can put your chances and make people do things. They stay away from you, whether it's at a job interview, a drink, getting together, or spending time with friends. Showing desperation will only make problems that despair not only causes setting, but it also makes you look a load on other people. Remember, beating yourself up won't help you reach your goals. In fact, it's likely to turn away the very help you might need the most. So if you ever find yourself thinking about showing that you don't have control over your money to others, it's usually smarter to keep and stop people from trying to do that in taking action with ease. And confidence is important, and carries a lot of weight in what other people think of you. Keep in mind that the world has many worth of things, like looks. Even if you're unsure or having money problems, being sure of yourself is the key to getting people to believe that you're in charge and able to deal with any situation that comes your sixth way. Personal ties. The sixth thing is personal ties and secrets. And trusts Stoicism as a way of life, puts a lot of EMP focus on the reason to keep trust and loyalty inside of personal relationships from a Stoic point of view. Letting the secrets out and the weaknesses of others can have eventually leading to bad outcomes, leading to a loss of trust and the getting weaker. The very things it's built on, the Stoics on which our partnerships are built, strongly support the ideas of when treated with discretion and honesty, with the secret information and the weaknesses of others. They be aware that the way we deal with trusts doesn't just talk about our own character, but it also shows what we believe in. Honor and the ideals we hold dear support from a Stoic point of view. It is, we have to be careful in what we do, and respect when it comes to keeping things secret, knowing that the fact that people believe us shows to our goodness and our promise to the health and happiness of those around us by using their own judgment and keeping people safe, the trust of other people. We not only show how strong our morals are, but also help to the growth of strong and long-lasting ties were formed. For the sake of trust, and when it comes to loyalty, this Stoic concept is to remember that what we did in handling having other people's trust is a direct picture of our own personalities and being decent in the eyes of both we and the wider world. Let's say you have a close friend who tells you the truth about the problems and fears in their lives. They've talked about their personal lives. Keep my deepest thoughts and secrets with you in trust, without any doubt. What matters is that you said you would keep this promise, keep information secret and promise to being with them. Anywhere situation, but later you get a call from a different friend would like you to share the information. You know where you are with them. A situation that is socially difficult because you have promised to keep the first friend secret. In this case, if you follow Stoic ideals, you would refuse to give the information to the second friend who kept the trust and sure that it was the first friend. The following is an example of showing being smart and moral when faced with what other people expect of you, and making sure the trust that has been given to you by your first friendship. Number 7. Be moral. And number 7. Stick to your morals and values. When it comes to personal beliefs, Stoicism is a guiding light. Focusing on the constant morals are very important to us, morals and honesty, regardless of the outside factors or norms and standards that may try to take us away from our true values in a world where following the rules and of outside acceptance often tempt people to give up their deeply held beliefs. Stoicism, a set of ideas, is a theory that always tells us to remain true to our promise to virtue and moral behavior in the face of social forces that are always there. Stoicism tells us to be strong and calm, and stubbornly refusing to give in our most important beliefs or values just to follow the established norms or to please the people view. It makes us remember that our moral compass should stay steady while serving as our unflinching guide through the tricky waters of life's problems, and stick to this silent way of life. Knowledge, we don't just keep our morals purity, but also set a good example for others by showing the strength of character that can come from a strong commitment to live in line with our best. Basically, ideals and beliefs. Stoicism is a way of thinking that calls on us to grow an inner strength that goes beyond what is temporary changes in the outside environment to society, and it teaches us that our ideals are under pressure. No changes should be made to moral fiber, even when there are storms of public thoughts or the allure of agreement in the deep words of the. We find the timeless in Stoic thinkers, a warning that if you want to be wise and morals, that we must stick to our basic rules and fight against the constant currents that they want to take us off the path of goodness through the long-lasting. We learn about the idea of Stoicism when we ways to keep our moral direction, and so that they can live true lives being honest and sincerity. Think of a person called Alex. Being a Christian in a world where a lot of greed and tough competition have large numbers. The way Alex has always lived a life built on love, respect, and patience for other values that the Bible claims, and kept up, though, in the present social setting where there is pressure to do well at pay any price and get material wealth, as Alex a lot. One day Alex is when they saw a business chance that if he takes part could bring huge gains in a short amount of period of time, though. To do this, he has to take advantage of a not honest and not ethical deal, goes against what he believes in, and hurt other people in this situation. Morals lead Alex, instead of giving up his morals and ideals for short-term personal gain. Alex chooses to keep his promise to be moral and tolerance. He turns down that job. Chance and continues to live by the things he stands for and morals in spite of possible pressures and struggles to keep his morals. Honesty, Alex shows what he's made of in following his principles through. By doing this, he not only keeps his morals, but it also motivates those around him about how important it was and the power to live according to the most values he looks for, while the 7. The above-mentioned parts make up the Stoicism tells us not to do the following things. Let other people know there are more parts of Stoic knowledge that can help finding your way around the difficulties of life and interactions, starting with negative judgments and rumors. Stoicism tells us to don't pass judgment on other people. Talking about other people and spreading rumors, making judgments and spreading rumors, some things can hurt our spirit and hurt our Stoics. Think that when it comes to relationships, whenever we say bad things about other people, as we show our flaws, we are also both in personality and in making a bad and harmful atmosphere by staying away from bad judgments, and we don't spread rumors because we value our morals. And encourage better relationships with fear of death comes in second for others. Stoicism about death deals with the fear of death and our Even though it's normal to die, think about how our deaths are constant. Thoughts about death can lead to with worry, and a feeling of hopelessness trains us to accept what will happen. Of death as a natural part of being human condition, by recognizing that we will die and not focusing on it all the time, we can living in the present moment more deeply on the things we have power over and the traits that we can work on. Thirdly, no apologies and resentments is another part of being stoic. Wisdom is knowing how important it is not to dwell, holding on to sorrow and anger from the past. Hold on to anger or keep thinking about mistakes from the past can make us feel down. Stoics support being strong physically and mentally for recognizing our part in past acts and taking notes, but not letting them to describe our present or future. By learning how to accept and let go of being angry, we free ourselves from the getting over the mental weight of the past accomplishments and wins in life, even though it might seem against common sense. Stoicism tells us not to show off what we've done for ourselves and wins that the philosophy stands for. Being humble and modest teaches us that real success comes from living virtuously and not in looking for outside getting approval or support. By avoiding too much self-promotion, we keep our be humble and keep your mind on the road of virtue. We stay humble and keep our attention on the search for excellence, for its peace and satisfaction have value on their own. Stoicism puts a lot of value on inner happiness and peace, in a world full of with outside wants and distractions in the end. Stoicism tells us that real happiness has to do with ourselves, by not showing our inner peace and happiness to outside events, or looking by giving them material things we become stronger and more independent in our search for a good life. Stoicism in everyday life gives us the steps to follow to live a wise life, virtue and peace. While it tells us not to show certain parts of our lives to other people, it also stresses how important it is to develop traits like tact, humility, and stay strong by following these Stoic rules that will help us get through the complicated world we live in now with grace and honesty, making things important, having friends and being happy in our search for a good life in an age when too much talking and validation often takes over when people communicate. Stoicism is always a good lesson that real happiness and goodness start inside. We appreciate you watching this video. We're looking forward to hearing from you, reminding you of 7 things you shouldn't do. Tell other people which one impresses you the most. Please let us know in the comments part below if you liked this video. If you found it helpful, please like and share it with. Tell people you think could use it. Don't forget to click subscribe. We hope you have already will keep following us and learning from us. Get bigger together in the end. Not only stops at one person, but also spreads to the whole community. I urge you to join me. Please leave your mark by liking and sharing so that we can build a strong community. A community where love and knowledge are always. Please leave a comment to let us know what you think and what you learned. If the subject you're most interested in is, join to so you don't miss any important lessons about life and the way of following the Stoic concept of cultivating the mind. We will make a world that is bigger, better, and more important.